playing games with the real. Memphis boy watching how they getting still. Greedy stones pushing rocks around the track. Calling up for prizes they ain't never getting back. Hate taking the lift. In the language that I can't forget. Gold and silver, what they live aboard. Now they pushing waves by hell start glowing. Blue chip pride still spinning if you dare. Nothing but fools, gold hanging in the air. On up for game day, you can't ever win. Blue chip pride still paying for your sin. Round and round, the head is so go. Greedy soul, putting on a show. Blue chip pride still step right up. Drink that drink from hell's own cup. Carnival parks to watching gorgeous clash. Souls who worship nothing but the cash. Pushing boulders with the chest and back. On this endless circular track. Wolf for free, got him by the throat. If the streets know how this story goes. Material things that came to God. Now they walking on the cursed side. Blue chip pride still swimming if you dare. Nothing but fools gold hanging in the air. Carnival game day, you can't ever win. Blue chip pride still paying for your sin. Round and round, the heavy stones go. Greedy souls, putting on a show. Blue chip pride still step right up. Drink that drink from hell's own cup. What can't take it when you're the drink home? Do this kind of what these souls become. Carnival moving to the river's edge. Time and crossing that watery ledge. Blue chip pride still game is done. Woke up from complete time to run. Round and round, but we moving on. The river six before the dawn.
Breathe.
How about now? Do you know what the thing I love the most about it is when it changes your music? It changes your microphone. I've only been talking for 15 minutes. All right. Anyway, we were talking about AI litigation. Hopefully you could read what was on the screen. You know, my bottom line is, I'm not going to go and say it all again. I'm just going to say copyright is out of touch, needs reform. That's it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You know, all of these guys with their cap out, there's no proof anything's been stolen. So it's all stupid. They need to actually, like, change copyright and not try to apply it to old tech. It's all good, Colin. Nobody else told me. I'm kind of surprised about that. I'm guessing that, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we can continue. Right, I may as well read out the episode again. So it's episode 298, Scuffed Epoch Live. I'm Drift Johnson. This is Scuffed Epoch. Like I say, Latent Space Live, episode 298. It is 8 o'clock on, well, it's 15, it's 8:15 now on the 23rd of November. And Corlin's the only one listening. Basically. Right. So anyway, we looked at this, we looked at that, that was cool. Next. So I've got new sites. New sites. New careless sites. If it'll let me actually look at this. It does this to me every time. It's like a troll. Oh, I got it. It's like a video game. You gotta be quick. Whoa. I don't know why I do this to myself. You click on it and it's supposed to stay open, but for some reason it there. All right, we got there in the end. So we got 3 new things to show you guys from last night. And this is the part where I'm like, can't find a API key, blah, 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 blah. So give me a sec. It's so stupid. Right, AI Studio, is it? Yeah. Give me a key, please. Key. There it is. Right, okay, so let's take a look at Relight first, because we're running out of time now. God damn it. Right. Gemini 3 Pro image preview, everyone. Image pre-processing just makes sure that too small and too big images get normalized before we do whatever we're doing. We have a 2K and a 4K option, obviously. Relight 4K is an upscaler, which gives you relighting on your pictures. So it's very simple, guys. You put your API key in, and that is going to be a paid Google key. Usually, I only do OpenRouter, but because we wanted to get the features of the new model when they, you know, like not wait for OpenRouter to add them, which could take potentially months. All right, they never actually added any of the parameters for Gemini 2.5 or Image Flash. So I guess I got to go and use somebody else. You know, they forced my hand. I would have preferred to stay with OpenRouter for all of it forever, but if they can't be bothered to give us the parameters for the new model, then it's pointless, right? So straight over to Google, new endpoint. All right. Come on, just give us a picture here. So how about we pick this one, okay? On my way to coffee time. And I can do random. So let's just zoom in on this because you can't see nothing. So this is Relight 4K. It's literally just a Relight upscaler. Now, obviously, if you don't choose to Relight, it'll just upscale to 4K, right? So 4K premium. Now, if I go Relight with early morning, I've got hundreds of randomized lighting prompts in here, okay, just to give you ideas. But you should know how to say, make the sunlight come through the window, all right? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and run that. It was very fast when I was testing it yesterday. Hopefully it's not broken since I've woken up. Oh, yeah. Okay, So there we go. It's just changed my image for relight for the morning sun or whatever it was. Okay. Translates over to video, so it's super good. But yeah, basically that would be your relight 4K. Now, obviously, you can do all kinds of stuff with relight. You know, it's not just relight. Here, let's get another one. Yeah, low key light, dramatic, emphasized shadows. That'll be 4096 by 4096 on this one. Square. And there's another one. Okay. Dramatic. Illuminate with low-key dramatic lighting, emphasize shadows. Try a different image. Oh, I wonder what it'll do with that, actually. Illuminate, snowy, bright white, reflected light. Yeah, sure. That'd be an interesting one. So that's obviously from the Splatoon comic Splatoon. Got a bunch of plans for that. We're going to finish off with storyboard because storyboard works. It's super cool. There we go. Right. So here we go. We open that up. Snowy now. Now, you'll wonder, why is it cut off the sides? And the reason is because I've got 21:9 selected. And this is like 3 images put together. So it's not a normal image size, okay? It's beyond super wide, so it couldn't really do it. But as you can see, it has changed it, you know? What I would recommend doing is actually exporting the full-size images for doing stuff like this, rather than just taking the crops. Because when you build the 3 panels, they're just all square like this. And you can put you can put speech bubbles and stuff on there, and it's all really cool. But when you go to save it, it gives you the full-sized image. And often, every image is like, you know, 21:9. So you're only saving the square crop in the comic book. But underneath it, you've got these massive wide images. Potentially. I mean, it depends what you set, how you've generated your comic. But I made it so that you could get more. So when you go to export the zip at the end, when you finish the comic, it gives you the full-size images and the cropped comic strip. So then you could go and build it again with bigger images, wider, change the size so they're not all square, that kind of thing. I didn't want to tie you into the system, even though it does make the comic book for you. It also gives you all of the pieces you used, like labeled in order. And that's how the video generation works. You see what I mean? But to save money, I'm currently cropping. I'm currently sending the crop to the video generator. You see what I mean? And so obviously I found that, you know, with this, you have the ability to do, it's not just relight, guys. It's everything, okay? The joke about the 3 apps, all I've really done is try to make it easy for you to do the thing, right? I've tried to make it easy to do the thing, okay? But the reality is that all of the apps pretty much can do all of the things because they're all Nano Banana Pro, right? So, you know, if I came in here and I just said, look, here, how about apply snow, bright white, reflected light, extreme blizzard, heavy snow, stormy skies. It's just an image to image prompt, right? It happens. See, if you don't do much, it's just a 4K upscaler. If you ask it to do a little relighting, it's like a grading tool. If you ask it to completely change the style and put a hat on the woman and a cat in her hand, you can do all of that too. It's all of it. This is the funny thing about the tool. But I've given you like hundreds of relight template prompts to get you started, so you can just hit there and see what you want to get. And then obviously I recommend saving the ones that work really well. So again, like I said, she's got plus 30 armor on, so she'll be fine. But the point is, But the point is, you can pretty much do anything you want now. So yeah, it's more than just a relight. It's more than just an upscaler. Yeah, we used Seed VR. You know, we used Seed VR. Yeah, when Seed VR came out, we used to use it. It's cool. But what I'm saying is, for 15 cents to 4K in seconds, and it can do all the restyling and everything else as well. So it's ControlNet, it's IP adapter, it's ID for character consistency. It's all of that stuff. Yeah, it doesn't impress me anymore. Do you know what I mean? We've been able to do like upscaling from a small image for years. Doesn't impress me. What impresses me is putting it all into a tight form factor, because context can't do this. What else? The other edit models can't do this. So I remember I called this weeks ago when I said, because of the fact that Seedream 4 exists, the only legitimate response for an image generation model in 2025 is to be 2K or higher. You cannot release 1K models anymore. Doesn't work, mate. It's like trying to release your album on tape. Someone will buy it, but it's not going to be popular. Everybody wants 4K. I said the new standard is 2K. If your image generation model can't do 2K native, that means no upscaling tricks in your model. You have to actually generate 2K native, yeah? Then nobody cares. You're now irrelevant. Sorry. Unless you want to make small images specifically, like, oh, I like making pixelated SD 1.5 art. Unless you're like specifically going for a thing, it's basically over, right? Because now 2K models exist. So you could like, and also you want to talk open source, WAN 2.1 is a video which does it's a 2K image model. So the models are out there, right? But now what we're going to see is all of these older models getting rejected, because why would I pay the same price for less? That's the truth. And if you're open source like we are, I got WAN 2.2 low noise on my computer. I can do 4K upscales with that. They look great. So what's the point of Flux then? Oh, well, you use Flux to edit the picture, and then you use Flux to edit the picture. Right, so you get your you get your 16 gigabyte GPU so that you can do something that costs 15 cents on the web. This is the issue. I can tell you how much power it costs to turn my 4090 on for an hour, right? That is a number. And then there is the number which is associated with this job. It's getting close now. So what I'm saying is we're getting close to the API cost being the electricity cost of turning the computer on for as long as it takes to do the thing. Now you could say, oh, it only takes seconds to do that, Drift. What are you talking about? You kind of spent a lot of power invested in installing, downloading, getting all the frameworks set up. So all that actually is part of the calculation. So when you work it out, it's like an hour of electric versus 5 seconds of API charge. And that's the issue. The APIs are getting so cheap that they're starting to compete with a local GPU on cost. Because they're so cheap. I'm not even looking at the cheap API right now. This is an expensive API. Like $15 for video or an image is considered, that's considered expensive by normal AI prices. See, SDXL, you'd be paying like 0.25 of a cent for one image. So you can get 4 images for a cent out of SDXL. But with Flux, you can only get like 3 images out of $1 if you have the resolution up. You see what I mean? So there's a big gap. There's a big gap there. Let's see what people are saying before we move on. Full Dive, hi, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. We're just talking about upscalers and things. Dragon says, I agree. However, there is an audience that, due to the fact they invested in the silicon installation, the very idea of paying API fee is heresy. Yeah, I understand that, but what if they never bring out a local model that's as good as Banana Pro? What do you do then? You're going to do substandard because you don't want to pay 15 cents? You see, it's not like when it was $15, I totally agree with you, right? When it was like a $15 monthly sub and you might not even use it, I get it, right? That's like a Midjourney scam, right? But when it's like, it's literally, I used it 10 times last month and it cost me $1.50 and every image was an absolute banger at 4K, you're going to be sat there like, I can't really argue with that. Can't really argue with that. Because I see them all as tools. If I have a tool in my toolbox, I get it out when I need it. I don't have loyalty to the screwdriver over the wrench. They're just tools for jobs, you know? And you've got to kind of have them all. And then if you don't have it, you've got to kind of go out and get it, right? That's reality. So I understand what you're saying. People are like, oh, I refuse. And I get that. But, you know, out of principle, you might decide to walk 10 miles in the freezing cold and, you know, other people will get a taxi. You see what I mean? So I get it. It's valid. What Dragon's saying is valid. He's like, out of principle, I would never pay for an API for what you can do locally. Well, that's the thing, though, Dragon. By your own definition, you can't do it. There is no local model. See, you can't do what Nano Banana Pro does locally. You'd have to combine Qwen Image Edit, Flux Context, maybe just Flux Upscale, maybe WAN Upscale. Like, I could whip together a concoction that would do something similar, but would it really be better than Nano Banana Pro? Would it really? And the time investment, I can just get it done and move on. I don't have to piss around with a bunch of open source workflow installations and waiting for things to, you know, I gotta wait. How long is it gonna take? It'd be about 5 minutes for this image. Whereas the Nano Banana comes straight back. So this is the thing. I agree with you. If I can do it locally, I don't want to use an API. But the reality is, what we're doing here, we can't, you know. So here, let's change it a bunch of times. We'll do that, change another one. We'll do one more with this and move on to the next app so that I run out of time. But yeah. So I agree with Dragon. He's right. You know, you shouldn't waste your money on tech which you already own. You know what I mean? It's like renting a motorbike when you bought one. Silly. So here we go. We got another one. So check out this one. This is the last one. Apply snowy, bright white, reflected light, extreme blizzard, heavy snow, stormy skies. And then for the next one, we've done relight the scene, placing emphasis on natural lighting from the detected source with soft shadows and subtle backlighting or reflections. That sounds like one of my default prompts, that does. Now, in all of this, it's just about making it easy. So obviously, if you just said, you know, a subtle prompt, it's just going to do a 4K upscale, right? Using Banana Pro. So I'm looking at this as like an upscaler that can also do relighting. But it is just Nano Banana Pro. Corlin says, you're making good points, but I don't like relying on APIs. They can take away or change the tool too often. I like making a tool once and never having to change it again. Well, this is why I make my own apps. So, for example, this app here is built on the Nano Banana API because I know I want to use it and I don't want to muck about. Now, Google might change their API, but usually it's to add stuff, not remove stuff. And you see here, I just put the new, what's going to happen is they're going to take preview away and it will become Google 3 Pro Image one day. Or just, yeah, it'll just be that one day, right? So you change that, save it, you're good to go. So it's not like, I won't have to redevelop my app or anything. And like I said, these are just suggestions. I use my own prompts when I come in here. I will go on though, because like I said, we've looked at this. This is Careless Relight 4K. You can find it on the main website. It's down at the bottom in the Careless collection. Find it down the bottom. So Relight 4K is the first one we did. And what I'm doing is I'm making apps that demonstrate what these APIs can do. Because it's actually crazy what they can do. and no one's really talking. Well, I'm sure everyone will be talking about it. But anyway, let's just get on with it, right? So you've seen my upscaler. It's intended to be a relight tool, but because we know our image models, right, it can really be anything. It's just a Nano Banana Pro front end, which has got, like, you know, a 4K output. Anyway, okay, moving on. Now we get to take a look at Careless Group Shot, baby. Now this is the part where you're going to start saying, but Drift, we can do that in local source. Yeah, you can do it in local open source, but it will be crap. And to be honest, it's a bit ropey on here too. So this is called your multi-ID. So we've got Group Shot. This is Careless Group Shot. People and objects. So if I add some objects, so people even, let's see if we can find some people. I'm gonna have to go into my archives. So essentially this is going to be your multi-person, multi-object image to image, so we can make big, you know, oh, look at all these people having lunch, you know, that kind of thing. And it does work really well. I was quite surprised with how well it works, but I just need to grab some images. For some reason on this computer I've just got no images. Man, I can't see shit. Bunch of nothing. Bunch of faces. I don't know. There's no way it's going to let me do Arnie. See, one thing I have noticed is you just don't get an image back. See, this is the thing, right? They want to give you these cool tools, and then they get all weak-kneed about, what do you mean you want to do someone famous? Well, obviously, everyone wants to do something famous. Oh, dear. But anyway, Gemini will do up to 14 things in one API call. So forget your model, forget your LoRa, forget your IP adapter, because that's basically what it is. I think it's 6 people. I think it's something like 6 people and 4 objects, which is 10. But then they said 14 in the document. So I got to check the actual numbers. I think it's higher. So you can have like at least 6 people, you know, input, and it will render them all into the thing. I'm having a bit of trouble just trying to find a freaking image right now, which isn't like... There's a classic, Skirted Oplik. So we'll go with Skirted Oplik. Come on. How long does it take? What is that? What is all this stuff? Come on, come on, come on. We'll take a Thora. So we've got an anime chick, a photo chick. See, mixing it up as well doesn't help, you know. Like, the more consistent you make your selection of things is the better, right? It's obvious. There's another Thora. No. Oh wow, Godzilla. No. These are all. Oh. What the heck is that? Is that a penguin? Oh, man. Yeah, why not? Okay, so we've got black hair, blue eyes, multicolor hair, red hair, right? And then over on the group shot, well, we'll do one thing at a time. So I'll go random. Okay, place. So I found that if I said the woman, what is it? The woman with the red hair, the woman with the blue eyes, and the woman in the purple dress, purple polka dot. Together at a mountain summit celebrating their achievement. Right. So this is like quite a long thing. Doesn't seem to let me do it. What have I not done? Oh, I forgot to put the API key in this app. course. It's a brand new app. I haven't used it. Online. Image preview, yep. Save, yep. Okay. So again, if you come in with way more, again, if you're just going to sit and list open source solutions to the apps that I'm showing off today, Dragon, if that's your plan, yeah, it's not going to work, mate. See, the thing is, the app runs in a website with no login for 15 cents, and most people already have a Google API that they're paying for. That's the funny thing. Most people don't have silicon. I don't know if you know about this, but when you look around the world, most people can't afford a GPU, but they can afford 15 cents to make an image. It's funny. So, like, the problem, okay, isn't that we can do, because we know we're in open source. We know we can do all of this stuff, but we have to, 1, mess about for hours. 2, have the computer and the know-how to install all of the stuff which nobody will support you on installing. 3, have a bunch of experience. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need a bunch of experience in installing Python, which is like a high-level skill set. You know what I mean? And it's like, the reality is that most people are just going to pay. The reality is that most people aren't going to go and buy a GPU. They're not going to understand Python. They're not going to learn how to install virtual environments and manage package dependencies. They're not going to do any of that. Most people want to go, can I go on a website and click button, please? Because they don't have time to learn a new job. They didn't have time to learn a new job. Do you know what I mean? They were like, can I make the pictures, please? Where can I make the pictures? How much? There, that's acceptable. So it's like, you know, we do all of this stuff for ourselves, and we know how to do it for free, and we get the latest technology on the open source and all the rest of it. They can't do any of that. You may as well just kick the ladder down. They don't know what the hell that is. And there's nothing wrong with that either. You know what I mean? It's no disservice or slight on anybody. Like, I would say that most people don't know what Python is or how to run it. And that's fine. You know, it would be weird if it was the other way around, wouldn't it? Imagine a world where everybody knows what Python is and how to do package dependency resolve, you know? Can you imagine? What does that world look like? Mm-hmm. So how many did we get? We got 2 girls, not 3. We got Welcome to Skirted Oplik. She's still got her guns for some reason. Thora's always got guns. She has got a gun. So we didn't get the woman in the middle. What happened to the woman in the middle? I guess she's taking the picture. So get rid of that. Get rid of the woman with the blue eyes. The woman with the red hair and the woman with the polka dot. So, okay. So then we go to objects. And I could give it an object. So let's give it an object. An object like something like this. Accelerating their achievement next to the blue statue. Statue monument at the top. I'm not trying to be clever. Taking the picture, says Full. Yeah, must be taking the picture, man. It's gotta be, right? There's no way it would have not put the picture in there. Fernicar says, I think this conversation was already done by a similar group. PC race versus console fanboy. Yeah, because if you own your own silicon, you're in the master PC race, and if you only buy APIs or subscription fees, you could call that a bit like an Xbox Live sub kind of deal. So I guess I can see the parallel, but I would say it's far more casual than that, because at least the console guy bought a console. Imagine being such a casual gamer that you don't even buy a console. This is more like Master PC Race versus the App Store gamers. You know, like Google and Apple. Like, I'm a gamer. Oh yeah, what games do you play? Oh, Happy Birds, Flappy Birds, and Fruit Ninja. Do you see what I mean? Like, there's an entire swathe of person where you say to them, are you a gamer? And they say, yeah, I play on my phone. That's what that means to them. So, like, you know, in the same way as we say gamer, a gamer could mean anything from a person playing a board game, actually, right the way up to, and gambling, right the way up to video games and AAA, and you're plugged into your 4090 cutting edge 64 gigabyte, you know. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's PC Master Race versus Candy Crush. Yeah, because the API is the ultimate casual. Anybody can do it. Your grandmother could do it. Do you see what I mean? She can just go tup tup. Now she's making images with AI. Midjourney is a bit like that in a way, but it's a bit more niche. It's a bit more niche. But it is an API. Do you know what I mean? You log into a thing and then it, yeah. So it's interesting. There we go. They stood by the thing. Like I said, when I try to make it do weird stuff like this, because we're like mixing different types of medium and whatnot, it does end up making these crazy mishmashes, and I actually really enjoy them. If you are more consistent, you won't have that problem. And also, because remember, this is banana. What we can actually do is we can say, for example, I like this one, watercolor with ink, line work. That's my favorite. And we'll go like, do it again. Angry Birds and Candy Crush moments, but for AI now. Yeah, I've noticed, I think I watched, Fernicar was messing around with AI Studio Flappy Bird or something. Like, they're giving games away and then they're actually better. This is the funny thing. 6 months ago, AI gaming sucked, and now AI gaming is actually looking like it's beyond Flash games. It's gone beyond Flash games, and it's on its way to normal, you know, like traditional 3D, full 3D. It's actually crazy to watch it happen. So again, if you just give it a style, you see how before the image didn't really work because it didn't have a consistent style, right? So just add one. Watercolor with ink line work. Yeah? And now we've got the girl with Thora with the statue at the top of the mountain in Tibet. And she's still holding her skirted Oplik sign. So it you know what I mean? The spelling is perfect, right? It's even spelt it like that was wrong, but it's spelt correct. So here are my images. I've got a bad Midjourney of Thora, and I've got one of our community members posted this one, Rune, I think. And then we've got a statue by Mr. Vascularity himself. Yo, Curtis, welcome. Yeah, it is Runes. Yeah, that's one of Runes. She posted it, and I did sign stuff ages ago. Yeah, like we showed it off ages ago. So here it is again, right? That is the statue, that is Thora, that is the character, and it's all in watercolor with ink line work now. And like I said, you couldn't do this in one shot before, right? You couldn't do this in one shot before. You had to have multiple workflows, multiple models, a lot of know-how, a decent amount of GPU, you know. Because, like, when I talk to a lot of people, everyone's still using Colab and stuff, guys. They're still using Colab. Like, I'm trying to make people use the Comfy Cloud, because I think Comfy Cloud's the greatest thing ever. Comfy Cloud is like, you get, you know, Comfy Cloud is like, you don't need to install, yeah? The install problem is a big problem, because if you don't know how to resolve package dependencies, which most people will just kind of look at you funny, like if you say to them, do you know how to resolve package dependencies in Python? They're going to look at you and go, what the hell are you talking about? What are you even talking about right now? They're going to wonder if you're starting to speak in tongues, okay? And this is, like I said, Comfy Cloud gets rid of that. Because you say, sign into your account with Comfy Cloud, send them the workflow, and as long as you know the workflow works with Comfy Cloud, it'll work on their end. Now you don't need to worry about all that stuff, because that was a big problem, you know? But how do I run this? Anyway. So, Careless Group Shop. Like I said, you add multiple people, you add multiple objects. I mean, I was putting the cat in the sports car last night. Here, let's check out a couple of the ones I already made earlier, because this is a bit more fun to just... All right. For some reason, we're getting some weird issue with it not loading the full image. Or it's like not zoomed in enough. I think I have to do some facial inpainting on these ones. What's going on here? Where's your banana 4K now? Anyway. Nano Banana does text. So the next app we're going to be looking at is the Text Studio. But to be honest, guys, if you're advanced, you don't need the apps. These are just going to make you think, right? And you'll be like, oh, wow, I can do that. That's all you're going to do. You're going to go, oh, I can do that. Like if you're in part of the Scuf community and you've been following my work for a long time, a lot of this stuff you won't need because you'll just be like, hang on a minute, this is all just the same. Like the Relight 4K, the Text Studio, and the Group Shop. In a way, they're all just the same thing. And what I've done is I've made a quick UI, which is made for a specific task, so that if you come in, oh, I need to know how to do this, you can learn how to do that. But once you've done it, you don't really need any of them because it's just an API call with image to image and prompt engineering. That's all it is. You send the image in, you say, do the thing, it does the thing. So it's not really about the app. It's really about learning how this API works with these new models. The key takeaway is, previously we had to tell the AI, oh, this is a person, oh, this is a car, stuff like that. We even had to go to such extreme to actually train that thing into the model, and we were loading our own LoRa models, right? Or embeddings. We've done that in the past too. But the truth is with this, it's so good at one-shot recognition and everything else. As long as I say, the woman in the red hair, the white cat is driving the red car, I can give an image of the red car, an image of the white cat, and an image of the woman. And then I can end the prompt at the beach. And then I can say as a second thing, add the text. Nano Banana does text maybe. You see what I mean? So this is like a two-shot. I did the scene first with input references, but you don't have to tag them. You literally just put all the images in with your prompt and you just go, like I said, I tried to show it in the most basic way possible earlier. Just going, the woman with the red hair, the woman with the black hair, the woman with the white hair, they're all standing around and it works. And obviously you can get better at that, but it's very consistent, very coherent. Here we've changed the lighting to that sort of old style oil cell, whatever it's called, cell shade. No, it's not cell shade. Gel lighting? Yeah, it's gel lighting. And then we put the Careless Text Studio at the top. You can see it's the same image, just been 16 to 9 and had different text added, and then we've obviously relit the scene. And there's another one with just different text. There's another one, just a different text style. That would be airplane, an airplane writing in the sky. Yeah. Big block text with, metallic. And then, like, what was it? 80s style Miami Vice. And then that's just didn't ask for a font for that one. And obviously this one was in flames, you pretty much. And I said the woman in white is standing next to the woman with red hair, and the white cat is driving the red car, and the goblin is standing on the back. And it actually did it. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. Now, you want something a bit more like not crap? You can do, if you don't have like 1,000, if you're not trying to put everyone in there, you just say, okay, white car, white cat. That's, by the way, this is our unimpressed white cat. He's a character in the show now. So unimpressed white cat is driving the red sports car, and Thora is there. I mean, look, it's done the thing, guys. You know, you can't. I know. Here we go. There's the first attempt. Look, the first one that came back when we were testing it. It did what I told it, but it completely messed up the. Like, we have a giant Thora with a giant zebra. This perspective is so messed up. But the joke is, this is what the images actually look like. So this is like a clip art mashup or something, you know. So good. But yeah, I think I did say hello to you, Kirk. I don't mind. Just want to make sure you heard me. Hello, girl. Thank you for joining. But yeah, basically, we're just doing a little run through on the Nano Banana apps I threw together since yesterday's show. Okay, so like literally, we put them together. The process for putting these apps together, by the way, is actually really funny now. So the process for putting these apps together is really funny. So let me, Sam 3D. No, not yet. No, I do want to. Collage, like stickers. Yeah, it is. It's like collage. Yeah, it does look like collage. But anyway, so here we have a photorealistic Thora with the goblin. And it's coffee time by the looks of it. But the thing is, this is the funny thing, right? Let me tell you the process for the apps. It's very simple, right? So what we did was we wrote, and I've kept all of the prompts are in the docs for these apps. So when they go open source, you'll be able to just read my prompts. But I'll explain it. It's so simple, okay? It's like this. I go to Claude, and I start a chat. Now, you could use Gemini 3, you could use ChatGPT, don't care, irrelevant. You go to your favorite LLM, and you give it a couple of things. One, you give it a brand CSS style document, okay? Now, the brand CSS style document makes sure that your website or app will come out looking the same as all your other websites or apps. This is obviously optional, but if you're making a series of tools under a branded thing, it's nice to make it match. Now, how did you get that? Go find your favorite project that looks cool and invert it. So ask it for a style sheet that can be applied to any other React, Vite, or whatever stack it is that you're using. Okay? So then you end up with a little markdown file, which literally is the style rules, right? And you can apply that as an ingredient to any app that you make in that ecosystem. That's number one. If you're using a file format, which you save in, also include a document specification for that too. Okay, so now you've got custom file to custom style. Now you've got your save, load, export, import, all that stuff is rocking, and it can't be wrong because you defined it in a document that it's following. So you get those two things. All right. And then you just type out what you want the app to do. So I'll include, for example, with this, I went and I copied the entire Google Gemini image generation page from their documentation wiki, put that in a markdown, called it Google Gemini Pro, whatever, right? So then you got 3 files. Now, here's the fun part. You put them on a new GitHub that's private. So you put your the style reference, the file reference, if you have one, and the tutorial from the wiki for Gemini docs or whatever. And this works for anyone. It could be Gemini, it could be Grok, it could be Google, doesn't matter, right? So you got those 3 things. You put them in a brand new GitHub, and then you start your convo, like I was saying, right? And you put the same documents into the convo with your favorite LLM. And you say, hey, we're going to write a plan today that's going to make this app in React, Vite, TypeScript, blah, 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 blah. You explain exactly what that app's going to do. And you let him cook the plan. He's going to give you a handoff plan, which you then also put in the GitHub. Okay? So now you've got 4 files in your GitHub. Then you go get Claude Code, and you give him access to your repos. And you tell him, follow the plan, use the documents in this GitHub, and build the complete app. And off he goes. Is Dobby going out with Thora? I think they're having a little go round. Is that New York, or is it Chicago? I think it's Chicago. I can't tell, but it does look like they're doing a bit of a tour. But yeah, so like I said, you can have Claude Code take your plan and those ingredient documents, and he will literally make the entire app in a single commit. So gone are the days of the VS Code with the client extension, having to install everything and messing around. I mean, you can still do that. If you want to git clone, bring it down, you can still do all that cursor style stuff if you want. But if I'm being completely honest, guys, the agent's in the GitHub now. He's just writing the code on GitHub. When he's finished, you commit and you merge, and it's done. So it's kind of crazy. We can develop apps without actually, they don't touch our computer, because it gets done on Git. Like you could argue, oh, but you've got to bring it down to test it. Sure, but they always work. Do you know what I mean? It's very rare now that you'll cook up an app with AI and then you'll bring it down and it doesn't work. Usually the reason it doesn't work is because you're a silly human and you didn't install it right. Did you forget native.js again? Maybe you need Rollup because you're on Windows. That's not the AI's fault. Technically the app is good. It just, human problem, right? I use Windows. That's a human problem. I use Windows. That's a human problem. It's not his fault he has to install Rollup.js. He doesn't, the app actually is fine. So the code was fine, But then we're like, oh, I got to mess around to install all this Windows stuff. It's like, yeah, that's a Windows problem. That's a human problem. Anyway, let's see if we can actually get to the last one, because we got one more left. Now, as you can see with the Careless Relight, we got a bunch of really cool effects from this one's Aurora Borealis. So it does some really cool. It says you need to remove human. Windows equals problem. Says Dragon. Good times. So as you can see, this, which is called Careless Group Shop, which is what it's for, by the way, guys. I've already got tools that allow you to do like comic book creation, animation, video construction, orchestration of long form video. We've already got all of that, but this gives you something that my previous systems couldn't do, which is those extra trick shots where you need character A, character B, character C, prop A, prop B, scene 3. It's, when you get quite complicated, sometimes the open source models can't quite do this in a way that's consistent. If you look at any of the other images that we've been doing, you'll know that these are consistent. If I go over to the image section, you'll be able to see that I work with that particular look a lot. Oh yeah. Guys, it's close to being able to figure out how to make me. Okay? That's how good it's getting. Look, careless.originai.com. Kato's driving the Ferrari or whatever it is, Lamborghini, Porsche thing. And I'm stood there in the mansion with Thora. And it's almost got the open pose right. Isn't that crazy? That's AI generated. Like, obviously it is. But it can't quite get the skeleton right. Yeah? But this is crazy. The AI can't do this. By the way, I did a lighting pass to see what would happen. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's like lit it up. I don't know, guys. It's a real treat. So that's the original. There's the relight. It's subtle, but you can see the difference. The difference is huge. That was the first one I did. That was the first one we relit. But yeah, I think you can see like the potential is actually insane. Oh yeah. Oh, it's not loading. For some reason. That's annoying. Alright, anyway, enough of that. So that's that one. We got one more to look at. Blind weave. Yeah, I bet it is. See, I'm waiting. I'm biding my time. We're waiting for the new good video model for local, right? That's what we're waiting for. That's going to be the big Christmas moment, is when we get the good local model for Christmas. I don't know if we're going to get it on time or if it's going to be a late Christmas present. I really don't know. All the focus seems to be on 2K image models now, which I predicted. Because I was like, guys, after Sea Dream 4, there's just no point. 2K or go home, you know. LTX may be a new contender. Well, when I tried LTX 2 on API, I wasn't that impressed. So I'm hoping that it's the local that fixes it, because the local models did make better images than their API. That was just one of those things. A new contender or another remix? Well, you would think, like, where's WAN 2.5 weights? Right? Where's the WAN 2.5 weights? And also, I did think that WAN 2.5 was a bit of a try-hard in all the testing I did. But that was the image generation, not the video generation. You know? Anyway. So we got one more app to look at. And that would be my Careless Text. Careless Text Studio. Yep. Dipe is a Flux remix, does 4K, but Christ, it's slow. Yeah, see, that's the thing, yeah? Look, I can give you a workflow that'll give you open source, so you can train 2.1 LoRa's, and then you can run those LoRa's on 2.2, and you've got above 4K upscaling, and it'll stick to your style, it'll do anything you want. Here's the thing, though. It does need 18 gigabytes. It does need 5 minutes to run one image. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we can do it in open source, and to be honest, I don't care how long it took, because I scheduled my generations yesterday, so I've already got all the things I need now. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still, you've got to still plan it. You've still got to do the planning. So let's see, let's done with this one. We'll just take a random image like this one, and we'll just pick some template. Add a clean modern sign saying Black Sun, because that's where she's from. Okay, Black Sun collection. Go, 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 go. Now, in some of these apps, I've actually added like an edit function, so that once you're done, you can do the banana edit. I mean, it is what it is, but the interesting upshot about that, which I didn't realize, okay, it's kind of funny. So here's the Black Sun image that we've just made. We just put the text on there, right? But if I now go to the history, oh, is it not this one? Wait, view, show comparison. See what I mean? Where's the thing? Where is it? Where is it? There's an edit button somewhere. I've seen it. I know that. Where's the edit button gone? Am I thinking of the different version? I might be thinking of the different version. So I've put my text on it here like this. I don't see it. Maybe it was the other one. Yeah, there's no edit button in here. Right, hang on. Look, this is one of these funny things about the development. So I'll download my image, right? I'll go back to the group. Yeah. I think that's right. No, it's not group. How did what? I found this messed up way of doing it. So if is it here? Why are you? Oh my God! Don't no. It was trying to like click and drag stuff. I'm like, more. Yeah. Where's the pictures? There we go. Right, pictures. Okay, cool. So we take that picture. I'll just do. Sure thing, mate. You go for it, right? So, I noticed that sometimes there's an edit. Where is it? Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Where's the feature gone? I'm like chasing features around my own app right now. It's funny. It must be in here then. So disconnect these. Add. With the text and all, it's fine. So I'll go the woman. What is it? Place the woman with the black statue at the top. Okay. See, all I'm trying to do is get an image so I can hit the edit button. He's great. So silly. They're having a great time at the top of the mountain. God knows where the mountain is. Why is Thora climbing the mountain? Thora's climbing the mountain. Yeah, so what I wanted to show you, I don't know why the edit buttons, I couldn't find them. Edit prompts, that's edit the prompts. I swear there was an edit, it must be in this app. So there we go, Black Sun, oh my god. Suddenly that's ginormous. But yeah, so if I go to edit image, right? Yeah, look at this. There's a whole new thing. See, the AI created this whole bit on its own. So if you click edit, you get this edit image now. This is in group shot, okay? So it'll give you make the lighting warmer, add cooler tones, make the colors more vibrant. You know, it's going to change, you know. So I could say change the background to sunset. But this is the bit that got me. So I can now go 16:9 and 4K and then apply it. Now it might crash. It might crash because it was never supposed to do this. So we make our group shot with the text in it and then go for 4K 16:9. So now it's going to outpaint and upscale. And also change the background to a sunset. It's ridiculous. It's like how many jobs can I throw on the back of this truck before the wheels fall off? That's what's going on. You know, you're like go into the edit prompt. You're like make the woman more attractive, change the hair color, change the clothes, put her in a different town, change the time of day, make it rain, but it's dry underneath because she's on a bus shelter which is made of glass with reflection. You're just like putting this ridiculously long prompt in, and then it does it. There you go. It did it. Can we save the picture? I probably should have just clicked download, shouldn't I? Right. Zoom in. Can we get a zoom in on aisle 3? Enhance! Enhance! Yeah, true. %, that is. If we go to 100%, 100. That's 100. This is what I mean, guys. It's just amazing, actually. It's really good. It's really good. It's not just good, it's really good. So yeah, I'm having a great time with these new tools. They keep dropping new stuff as well. I don't know if you noticed, but Gemini 3 came out, then the next day the image came out. I wouldn't be surprised they keep releasing like Flash, Image, Banana, Gemini, whatever. It's just constant. So yeah, this is looking great. And again, that was just from using one image input of the character and an image of the object, and then, you know, blue statue, monument, woman and the statue. So you don't need to you don't need triggers or anything. You just need to do semantic NLP to identify and call out whatever it is you're trying to identify and call out. So there we go. That's the group shot. Now, blah, 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 blah. I wonder if we could change the text to coffee time. I don't know if that's going to work. Because technically that's not text. Technically it's a sound effect or atmosphere. But it might think, oh, it's just Japanese text, I'll get rid of it. Do you know what I mean? No, it just changed the coffee. That's not text. So yeah, it doesn't recognize that. So I could say, what about remove the Japanese symbols? You could probably get rid of the coffee cup again. What do you think? See, we're discovering the edges now, but it took a couple of days to find them. So most of the stuff that you'll want to do is just going to work. And you'll be surprised how much you can get away with. Look, there you go. He's got rid of that now. There it is. Go to history and download. Wait, that's the wrong button. Download. That's crazy. You got to think like that was all taken from a screenshot. It's like a screenshot of Dio walking from JoJo, and it's a famous screenshot. But then what I've done is we went black and white on recommendation from Fernie, who's done that. Then we went sign, globe, and then turned it into video. So he's walking towards the thing, and I've got a loop that looks great. Do you know what I mean? But it's just crazy because obviously, we've made it grey, not yellow, basically. But that's about it. Couldn't believe how easy it was that it just went together like this. Remove the Japanese symbols. Oh wow! It even actually gave me a bit more. It's blown it up a little bit as well. Look. It's giving me a bit more screen size. Okay, but anyway, like I said, if I'm now... so there should be a way to edit this. There should be an edit here. Oh my god, why does it say Billy Billy down the bottom now? That's not right. It's not Billy Billy at all. It's got a Billy Billy watermark. That's really funny. Remove the fake watermark. So funny. It's like, why? Hey, you're removing our watermark. Yeah, I know. I put it there as well. Cannot read the properties of undefined reading find. How strange. He couldn't do it. All right, well. It's not something that you can't do yourself with a quick... So, not really too bothered about that, guys. Right, so from this point, I think we're pretty much done. I just want to see if I've missed anything. Let's get over to the inside line and see if I've missed anything before I sign off for the Sunday. What do we got? We've gone through all of this stuff. That's all new apps. Relight 4K, yes. Oh yeah, that's the point actually. Let's take a quick look at this. So the storyboard system has seen some updates, all right? So if you have a storyboard with this system, it's spittoon-storyboard.originai.com. It uses an option of either the Google Gemini 2.5 Flash image, which is obviously cheaper, it's like 3 cents per image, or you can have the 3 Pro image preview, which is going to be 15 cents per image, which is quite expensive, but it is higher resolution, so it's not a complete waste. So how it works, you bring your story as a markdown file. You can have multiple pages if you want. If you bring a single strip, it'll just make 3 scenes. If you bring a page, it's just going to break up into a queue. So if we go to the editor, you can see it's making 3 strips at a time. You can move them around, you can zoom, okay? You can add narration bubble, you can change text size. You can change your font, Google Fonts, Open API or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Reposition, yes. Regenerate, edit, so you can do the edit prompts if you want to edit. So I made the weather more intense, you know. If there is speech appears down here, and you click a different speech bubble and it will pop in, and you can drag it around, just like you can drag these around. You can split them, you can double click and edit them. All right, so we've done a lot of little quality of life changes for this thing. The main thing, of course, obviously, is you put your key in, you pick your font, blah, 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 you choose your bubble style, and then down in here in each project, you've got a library, and this is where we put our character reference, okay? And then when we're in here, we can pick that character reference when we're doing generation. It pre-writes all the prompts for you, and it queues up the whole book for you. And then all you have to do is choose what image you want, maybe make a small edit here. You do have a seed, so you can do random fixed if you want. It's got all the creature comforts, okay? Now, when you've finished, you go to export, and you've got 2 export options. Number 1, export full-size images, not 600 by 600. That note is wrong, okay? The batch export is going to export at 600. So batch export makes the comic. Yeah. Zip export gives you the full-size images. So if I just show you here, I'll download both. Okay. And then if you have a look, you've got strip. That's the strip that bulk downloaded. And then the zip download actually has the full-size 21:9s, which you cropped. So we crop these to get the best image, you see. And there'll be no edits on this either, I don't think. I'm not 100% on that one. So obviously, if you were to make a big old queue of like 18 3 strips, yeah, that's actually quite substantial, is it not? So once you get to here and you've got them all and you've exported them all, you can go to the video tab. And then we're going to use Seedance Pro Fast with Runware. So you get yourself a Runware key. Okay. Now, because of the size of the cells, they're only 600 by 600. So it only costs 15 cents to make the 5-second video. So that means it costs you 15 cents to do Banana Pro. It costs you 15 cents to do the video. That's 30 cents per cell. Now, obviously, if you want to get the cost down, you could do the image for cheaper with Nano Banana 2.5. That means you could get the cost per cell down, with video this is, down to less than 20 cents per cell. Now, it's up to you whether that's valuable or not, but I think that's pretty cool. 15 cents. It's insane. That means the video is the same cost as the banana. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, it's kind of mental. So what it's going to do is it's going to take whatever you set up and it's going to orchestrate. So it's going to use the prompt and the video for the input, right? So it's first frame image generation. There is a generate test, and then you have a batch. Now, I've only got 3 videos here at the moment, and they take a few minutes, so there's not really much point. But I will show this process running. But it runs, okay? You generate the images. They go into a gallery down the bottom here. And then after you've done that, it's going to use my... And this is a cool app. You should know about this. videoconcat.originai.com. You've got the video concatenator. This is 25 to 75% faster than processing. So you know how we make all these cool little clips and they take forever to join? You don't actually have to re-encode. You can just merge with a stream copy. Okay? Obviously, you will have FFmpeg on your computer, no doubt, right? But up to 500 meg, which is pretty big, you know, for MP4, that's like a movie. But yeah, this is much better than browser processing. It doesn't crash, you know what I mean? So you can just add a whole bunch of little 5 or 10 second clips, and then it will give you like an order, and then you can put them together. So what I did was I inverted this app into Plan, and we've integrated it into the Combine tab. So there's nothing, I don't think there's anything there. You can't see it. There's no videos there. But when you actually have videos, you can go Combine tab, order them, and hit the button, and then you've got your your you know, all your clips joined together all in one there. And also it does other stuff, like when you're doing the video, it'll like not generate the video again if you've already made it, stuff like that. Or it should do. It should be tracking stuff like this. So yeah, that's that video generation. Blind image rating is working. It is working. It's just that I don't think that the leaderboard works. So I've got to fix the leaderboard. But it is actually doing the thing and saying like, oh, which one do you like best? That's tough. I kind of like this one. That one looks more realistic. But this one's more action shot, you know? Like, this one was filmed on GoPro, clearly. But yeah, guys. So that's pretty much it. A tight 90 minutes is what we're doing at the moment. I'm going to be taking the next 5 days off. Mostly working on more stuff to do with the show for season 3. But also a couple of jobs I've got this week, which are going to be quite big. Got to keep busy, haven't you guys, eh? Got to keep busy. But that's pretty much where we're at. Let me see. Next. Oh. That looks better. That looks like it's fake. Is he about to fly into a cliff? It doesn't look good. He's facing the wrong way, man. You should be going that way. This one's all right. Oh no, it's obviously that one. That one looked like, yeah. Groovy Tunes, and this one's got nothing written on it, basically. Isn't that funny? Like, this one actually looks kind of more authentic, but the spelling let it down. You can tell it can't spell, whereas that is clearly a Nano Banana. It literally says Groovy Tunes by the Beatles. No wonder they're getting sued all over the place. Groovy Tunes by the Beatles, man. Ah, this is the one. I know what this prompt is. It's supposed to do this. See, I just enjoy these sorts of things. I don't even care if there's a leaderboard. I don't even care. It's not, I mean, there are stats. Stats are being produced. They're just not public. They're supposed to be, though. The whole point of this was to see if we could get the system to update itself. And then we're using a chess system, look, ELO. We use ELO to rate the images against each other. There's an open source repo for Days Off, I heard. Yeah, I've just got to commit. I've just got to commit my time to the open source repo for Days Off, guys. Still trying to figure it out. So yeah, I've done 9 votes now. So again, it's anonymous, right? So if I reset my browser, that will be gone, you know. So the votes are just cache, browser cache, cookies. But they should be recorded on the server side. I haven't seen any yet. But that's okay. Alright. So again, Tech Studio, Group Shot, Relight. Not bad, not bad. Can you believe that was SD? It's SDXL, yeah. SDXL. Now, oh, quick! You gotta be quick. 3-strip storyboard. I am considering adding the features from storyboard to 3-strip, ironically, and then rebranding storyboard back to 3-strip again. Why? Because people might want to make anime. You might want to make anime. I don't know. I got two. I'm at a crossroads with it, because if I take 3-strip and turn it into anime, right, an anime tool, it's more like cartoons and stuff. But really, storyboard can already do that. I swear I came up with a different idea for the 3-strip. So it wasn't just making video. I keep going round and round on a looper with this idea. Where, you know, we've got the video generation in storyboard, but it is basically the same app. You know, we did a hard fork of 3-strip and then developed all of the video stuff into there. But I'm thinking, because I was thinking, oh, and now we'll put the video stuff back in here. But it's like, nah, there's no point. You can just make an anime in here. So then it's like, this is going to be more for drawing and stuff then. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be more. So then I thought, okay, we could do, oh, I remember now, yeah. So after editor export, you would want to do a layout tool. So you know how we export the full quality cells here? So that means we don't just have this setup. We've actually got like, yeah, there you go. We don't just have this setup. We've actually got the full-sized 21:9s for every image here, right? So that means you could have a new tab which does like a comic page layout, and then you could add in the full-sized images, not the, you know, not these ones. And so then you could actually change the size of the, do you know what I mean? You could lay it out in a more interesting way. Because Fernie showed me this really cool demo where he had like diagonal lines cut across like 4-point masks. And then you can have like the content coming out of the screen. Which I was really interested with. That was really interesting. Oh yeah, wait. No, there's no speech bubble. Yeah, there's no speech bubbles. I'd have to use a different story. Do I have a different story on here? No, I've only got one. It's because I do all of the stuff I've been doing is in like the dev build, and the dev build doesn't have that data cached on here. So and then I end up with just test stuff to show. But on my laptop, I've got like, I've done the whole of Sharona Book 1. The whole of the proper book has been converted already. It's done. So, you know, whether it makes any sense is a completely different question. But it's done. I also did Empire. I did an Empire book. And I think we did another one as well. Empire and Sharona. I think we're getting ready to do Thora next. Because I've rewrote the book last night. We rewrote the book. And we're going to apply it in there later. At some point. So yeah, but here's another good example. Let's see this. She's got blonde hair. Change the blonde hair colour to white. Then in a few minutes it'll not do it and embarrass me in front of all my friends. So let's see if I missed any comments before I disappear. Joking aside, Dragon's going to be checking out Blind Weave tonight on Discord, so look out for that. Dipe. Oh wow, she's got long. Oh, I forgot to say short. My bad. Look, see, I got what I wanted, but I forgot to say short. So now she's got flowing barbarian locks. So yeah, I needed to say short white hair there. So I'll say rejected. And I'll just do that one again. Alright. So that's pretty much everything I had for you tonight, guys. We'll be back next Saturday at 8 p.m. We're going to be skipping the whole week. I'm taking a week off. It's a bit of a holiday, mostly because we've been streaming almost every day since December last year. So we've had a bloody good run, and I hope it continues. But basically, I'm taking the week off, so good times. We'll be back on Saturday at 8 p.m. So watch out for pings in the Discord. We'll still be in the Discord, you know. I mean, I'm not leaving the country or anything. I'm just basically taking the time to work on Season 3. That's all. And then we'll have 2 shows next weekend, and that'll lead right into episode 300. And hopefully it's not a complete disaster. Thank you very much, guys. I'm getting out of here. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you on Saturday.